Holness has done well. Seaga. And I challenge my readers, my listeners, to go and look at it. And I will say this as I close. Had Edward Seaga gotten a third term, a lot of what we are talking about tonight may have been history. Many people credit Holness because they are living his reality. As far as neighbor is concerned, my view is that our best politician in Jamaica is Edward Philip George Seaga. And as a matter of fact, I can tell you this. He's at the very top. Now, I don't know who you can second him. Demonized, vilified, ostracized, even within his own party. Labour rights will not like me saying that, but I will speak the truth. Even within his own Jamaica Labour Party.
And when he realized he will not be given the opportunity to save Jamaica, he gave us Andrew Holness.
Yeah, well, yeah. Right? And Seaga fought and fought and fought and fought for the Jamaican people. Right? Many of you don't know the history well. Former Prime Minister Bruce Golding left the party, broke Seaga's heart, go form the NDM, come run against Seaga. I don't see how you can split a party.
And that move actually handed PNP the third term.
He handed PNP the third term. Right? So when I mean, man like Bruce Golding, Brasco Lee, Vaz, yes.
Tufton.
Huh? Tufton, yes.
Wayne Chen,
right? All of these guys were on the NDM fighting against, competing against. I remember, man, God, I remember seeing Mr. Seaga in that debate with Pattison and Bruce standing up to debate to be Prime Minister of Jamaica. Bruce Golding, a protege of Eddie. And you could see Seaga's brokenness. And this is to his eternal credit that he took back Golding in the party. Yes. And Golding became leader while Seaga was alive.
Yeah, he never carried malice.
Yes. Became member of parliament for West Kingston and Prime Minister of Jamaica. Yes. So Mr. Golding, leave Mr. Seaga alone. Don't compare Mr. Seaga's birth to yours. No. Don't make that comparison. Yes. Because the jury's out on that. But Prime Minister Holness, yeah, he has done well. I give him that. But when you match Holness's achievements and that of Seaga in terms of institutions, building institutions in Jamaica, and not only that, but rescuing Jamaica from the ideological war and won the 1980 election. You know the work that man did, Well, Gilbert, Well, anyway, let's go to Casey. Good night, Casey. How you doing, sir?
Good night. I'm doing fine, Fine.
Yes. Casey, I understand that the Prime Minister may call the election on the weekend. You're hearing anything?
Yes, that's what I gathered as well for some time now.
That we probably will get the date of the election. So it's all systems go, Casey, at this time.
Yes, definitely.
Right. Casey, how do you see the election? We are heading into the week of the announcement of the date. Who is winning the election?
The governing party is winning the election, hands down, neighbor.
The Jamaica Labour Party is winning the election, hands down. Why do you say that? Separate and apart from the forecast. Yes, go ahead.
Neighbor, it's close to the date and the opposition is still searching for a smoking gun. Yes. It's like from the get-go, the People's National Party didn't think they can do anything to win over the confidence of the Jamaican people, except for turning the people against the JLP and the Prime Minister. And they have exhausted themselves. They are now exhausted. They have used all their resources and energy on trying to assassinate the Prime Minister's character. Because when they did their post-mortem after losing badly, after they were badly beaten in 2020, on top of the list of their ailments, the PNP ailments that lead to them being politically dead in 2020 was a disease called the Holness factor. And what they needed to do is find a weapon that's as good that could fight against the disease or find a cure for the disease. What they try to do is kill the disease. In other words, they try to win the game with one big shot. And they've been trying that big shot over and over and over and over again since 2020 until now. And still haven't pulled it off.
Okay.
I don't.
So you say that at this time, your research, your field work is showing the Labour Party with a clear lead.
Yes. The Jamaica Labour Party is in a clear lead, and coming up to now, I must say I'm a bit off because I think the PNP would have made it tougher. The closer it goes to the race, they are crumbling more and more. It's now for
are you saying, because the last time you were here, we were giving the party about 42 seats. Are you saying, Casey, that you expect that the party could win more than that?
No, not necessarily, neighbor. There's a lot of other things will contribute to seat count.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. people vote differently. The people vote for a majority, a whole lot of reasons. We know majority of the people why they are voting and who they are voting for. And that 2/3 majority seems to be assured come election day. But there are some constituencies that will still swing the other way because the JLPNP may have dropped the ball. But the PNP on a whole, as a machinery, communication and otherwise, they haven't found that gear and they haven't found that smoking gun. They don't think they can beat Andrew Holness as he is. They thought they had to weaken him. They didn't try to get stronger.
Yes.
And up until the PNP last meeting, Mark Golden is still talking about Andrew Holness's statutory declaration.
Yes.
Did you hear? Up until the PNP last meeting, they don't learn nothing from 2016 about Andrew Holness' house.
Yes. All right. So, Casey, there are some constituencies that are very close. They really could go either way in this election. Let's see if we can take a little bit of look into them. Let's start out at St. Thomas, where Michelle Charles is. A traditionally strong PNP constituency, Casey. If the PNP is going to win the election, you expect them to be carrying Eastern St. Thomas. Are they carrying Eastern St. Thomas?
I can't say they are carrying Eastern St. Thomas.
You can't say they are carrying it?
No, I don't see where they have done enough to carry Eastern St. Thomas.
Do you agree with me that if the PNP is going to stand a chance, that Eastern St. Thomas, we have to tick that off for them?
Yes, yes. Especially now because of the 4 seats far east, Eastern St. Thomas is their only chance. And you can't
you are saying that Western Portland, Eastern Portland, and Western St. Thomas, all of those 4 seats out west, Eastern would be the strongest one for the PNP.
Yes, that would be the most likely one, if the PNP should take one.
But could they take? All right, let's say how much of the seats out west the PNP needs to carry?
But they need to sweep Hanover and they need to sweep Westmoreland if they are serious about.
No, sorry, out east. We're talking about Portland and St. Thomas. Let's stay there for a minute.
As things stand, you said west. As things stand, they will have to take Eastern St. Thomas if they are to mount any challenge, and that wouldn't have them challenging, but that would be a start.
Okay, so they can lose Portland and St. Thomas Western, but still be in with a chance if they take.
I wouldn't look at it like that. I wouldn't say they can. But they will not win Portland, and they will not win St. Thomas Western, for sure. So their only chance will be St. Thomas Eastern, and they will have to take that, put that in the bag, and move on to St. Mary for a clean sweep. And then
okay, so we're gonna go to St. Mary next. So Michelle Charles, you are saying, Casey, is not losing St. Thomas Eastern to the PNP. She's not losing. Are you saying that to me?
To be honest, neighbor, I cannot tick off Michelle Charles as a winner for the JLP either.
Oh,
No.
so you are leaving St. Thomas Eastern as a too close to call.
Yes, it's a toss-up.
It's a toss-up. Wow.
It's a toss-up. Many will say it's leaning PNP based on data science.
Hold on there. Hold on. This is interesting, you know. I don't want to miss it. Listeners. This is crunch time. This is crunch time. Please remember that if you want to get in touch with us off the air, just inbox me and I'll give you a call when I come off. All right. Eastern St. Thomas. Too close to call, even at this late stage. 9 o'clock. The 5th of August. Casey.
Yeah.
Why is Eastern St. Thomas so close at this time? Why is it so close?
Well, neighbor, even the political, anybody who knows even who know very little about the politics, knew from 2020 election until now that St. Thomas Eastern would have been close come the next election. Especially since St. Thomas, from now, 2025, looking back at the last tenure, St. Thomas could have benefit as much as any other parish from the government.
Yes.
From the work of the government. No parish can say we have benefit more from Andrew Holness's work than St. Thomas.
Yes.
And also, St. Thomas Eastern have been in the PNP column since 1993. And also, St. Thomas Eastern turned out better numbers for the People's National Party last year in the local government election. So if you realize that there are reasons for the PNP to think that they can win back St. Thomas Eastern based on the recent political history. When I say recent, I mean the last 30 years. And the local government election numbers, if that's anything to go by. While for the Jamaica Labour Party, they have unseated Dr. Fenton Ferguson for the first time in 27 years and retired him. The opponent is now a one-time Labourite in Rosemary Shaw, who learned every trick she knows from the JLP people who are leading this campaign in St. Thomas Eastern. And the governing Jamaica Labour Party expect gratitude from the people of St. Thomas. And I know the urban center would have been more in Western St. Thomas than Eastern St. Thomas. And when I talk about the work of Andrew Holness in the parish of St. Thomas, I'm not just talking about the urban center. The urban center is the cake. I know there's a lot more to come. The cake have not iced yet. But if you really look across St. Thomas, Andrew Holness have built them a whole stove, ovens, baking tin and everything before they got that cake in the urban center.
Okay. So Casey.
St. Thomas,
yes.
There are maybe 400 voters in St. Thomas Eastern that will be looking to vote for the Prime Minister as a gratitude vote. And I don't see the PNP carrying St. Thomas Eastern by 400 votes. in the general election. So it will be tight.
Why are you not prepared to call it for the Jamaica Labour Party?
It's not clear. I don't call what is not clear.
Not clear. Okay.
Yes, and there's still a campaign to run. There's still election day work to be done, and it's close. It's no more than a few hundred votes between the parties, if any, is leading in St. Thomas Eastern.
Right. Okay. So there are 4 seats in the eastern part of the island. You're saying to me tonight that the Vaz, husband and wife, Darrell and Anne-Marie, those seats, we can tick those off.
Yes.
For the Jamaica Labour Party.
The Vaz are winning Portland. Yes.
They are going to win.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And James Robertson will hold on to his seat.
Yes, James will win again.
Uh-huh. But you're not sure about...
James will retire an MP in Western St. Thomas.
Neighbor, I would agree with Casey, neighbor, when it comes to St. Thomas, Eastern, neighbor. When you look at the 2 constituencies out there in St. Thomas, neighbor, when you look at St. Thomas Eastern and St. Thomas Western, St. Thomas Eastern, neighbor, consists of the more deep rural side of St. Thomas. When you look at Western, it's really more urbanized areas, that is really more younger persons are living. Even persons who are born in the Western side, after certain years, they tend to come closer, to leave the East and come closer to Western. So you find that a lot of seniors living in Eastern constituency. You know where the seniors votes tend to go. But as the case is, the campaign is not finished. I wouldn't write off Michelle yet.
Hold on, I'm getting a report out of Portmore. The Prime Minister is live in Portmore. We have blonde trucker live. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Talk to me now, young sir. No, I'm not hearing from you. I'm not hearing from you. You have to speak, sir. All right. Go ahead, Scratchy. I'm not hearing a thing from you. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm just saying, yes, neighbor, the western side of St. Thomas the eastern side of St. Thomas is the more deep rural side. It's not over yet. Michelle still has a lot of work to do. It's a constituency, neighbor, that always support the PNP. They support the PNP very strong in that constituency. I believe that constituency neighbor might be the constituency with the most senior votes, I think. One of the constituency with the most senior votes. They know where those persons tend to follow, those persons' votes tend to go. They believe in the People's National Party out there, neighbor. As Casey pointed out to as well, neighbor, most of the achievements in St. Thomas might have happened more in the western side, And we know how politics is, neighbor. People tend to believe that politics must always be local. If it's not at their fingertip or at their doorstep, they tend to believe that it's not beneficial to them, even if it's on a parish level. But Michelle has a lot of work to do out there, neighbor. She still can pull through. She has the advantage, neighbor. But I wouldn't call it a threat either. It's one that I would put in the bag either. That's it.
Fantastic. Well, Casey.
Yes.
All right. So the PNP have a chance in St. Thomas Eastern. Now let's jump up to St. Mary, because we are watching St. Mary, because if the PNP is not winning St. Mary, Casey, then we're gonna have an early election night. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely.
What should our listeners be looking for out of St. Mary on election night, Casey? If, for example, they see the Jamaica Labour Party retaining those 2 seats in St. Mary, you would say the election is virtually over.
If you see the JLP winning 1 seat in St. Mary, the election is over.
No, Casey, you have a lot to explain here. If we see the Labour Party winning 1 seat in St. Mary,
the election is over.
For the PNP to win, they have to win all 3 seats in St. Mary?
They have to sweep St. Mary. For them to challenge in terms of seat count, because make no mistake, neighbor, it's not about the margin you win a constituency or the popular vote, which how much 100,000 people vote for you in the general election. It's how much seats you win. It is a race to 32. And if the People's National Party cannot take 3 in the parish of St. Mary.
But why, case people listening to you now would say, why? There are 60 other constituencies.
As we go across the island into other parishes, you will see why. It's simple math.
My God. This is fascinating stuff. In other words, not even 2 KC. But which 2?
If the PNP is not taking all 3 in St. Mary, they don't stand a chance.
And that is assuming that they also carry Eastern St. Thomas.
Yes.
So if we see Michelle Charles, holding on in St. Thomas, the Vases have won, Robertson, he's ahead. And when we come up to St. Mary, we see Dunn, tick off Bobby, then we can call the election early.
Yeah, it's over.
My God. So Politics Plus will call the election early. We'll call it before nationwide. When you are with us on election night, and we will be able to call the election before anyone else. Casey,
and call it correctly.
And call it correctly, yes, because it's all about the history. Diego, this is
Diego go and laugh.
Anyway, Casey, tell us what's happening in St. Mary at this time, Casey, because you are saying that the People's National Party must sweep St. Mary. Are they sweeping it, Casey? PNP is winning St. Mary?
Well, the last time they sweep St. Mary was in 2011.
Hold long, sorry. Scratchy, I take 5 minutes, please. I'll be back in 5. Go ahead, Scratchy.
The PNP swept St. Mary in 2011, December 29, 2011, in the election, because they promised to sweep it with they promised to sweep it again with the Jeep. The Jeep didn't come to fruition. And St. Mary haven't been swept by the PNP since. And as a result of that, the PNP have not managed to win a general election. And I want one of the historians to come up here and tell me, when have the PNP last won an election without sweeping St. Mary? Well, the last time I can remember them winning an election, it's 2011, and they would have swept St. Mary. They would have also swept St. Mary in 2002, 1997, 1993, and 1989.
So they're just going to need St. Mary then, Casey. That's a sweep St. Mary then.
Yeah, they need to sweep St. Mary to win the election, especially now that Portland is in the JLP column. Because in 2011, when they swept St. Mary, they also won Portland Eastern. Portland Eastern was a PNP safe seat at the time.
Yes. Just as St. Thomas Eastern.
As well as St. Thomas Eastern. As a matter of fact, even when the JLP retained government in 2016, the PNP would have won St. Thomas Eastern and Portland Eastern. So this Portland Eastern seat with Anne-Marie Vaz is a very important seat. Scratchy, that is the seat that have changed the political landscape.
Exactly. Looking at it from where you see, see where you see there.
Yes, the JLP having two safe constituencies in Portland is a blow to the PNP, and that's why all the PNP pundits and analysts refuse to accept defeat in Eastern Portland, and they are therefore pushing Isaac Buchanan verbally, albeit, to challenge Anne-Marie Vaz, to beat Anne-Marie Vaz. But they know deep down that's not happening, and the PNP is in trouble because of that. I don't know if you want us to move on from St. Mary.
Yeah, man, we can move on now, man, because you basically explain everything. So
Because
you definitely have
I
to
see the Prime Minister in the 15th parish of Portmore now. I don't know if we're doing St. Catherine. I don't know if we're doing St. Catherine as one parish or doing St. Catherine and then we do Portmore.
I think we should have Portmore differently. I think some important should be put on Portmore. I think we should separate it.
Yeah. So Casey?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So you want to reiterate that you still see the Labour Party carrying 2 seats in St. Mary, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And you think the PNPs will hold on to Central? Are you there, sir? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it appears then, Casey, that as we anticipate the Prime Minister making the election announcement, that he is making the announcement with the party in pole position to deliver him a 3rd consecutive term. Casey is saying that if the PNP is to stand a chance, they have to carry all of St. Mary, and he doesn't see them carrying St. Mary. Quite frankly, he sees the Labour Party winning 2 of the 3 seats in St. Mary. Casey, Manchester remains very, very well watched. I got some information out of Manchester today that the election in Central is in high gear. There are vans driving around there blaring party songs and so forth. How do you see Manchester at this time, Casey?
Well, Manchester is central to the PNP chances of challenging for the election. And I don't mean to play on these words. Central Manchester is essential for the PNP if they are to avoid a landslide beating. Because
no. Central? You mean just the constituency of Central Manchester?
Yes.
To avoid a landslide, the PNP needs to win Central Manchester.
Manchester is central. Manchester is central to the PNP chances of challenging for the election. And Central Manchester is essential to the PNP if they are to avoid an onslaught.
Well, Casey, you're going to help us.
Or a repeat of 2020.
You
Because
cannot help us here,
even
Casey.
Mark Golden would agree with me that if the PNP don't dominate Manchester, they cannot challenge for the election. Even if they seat St. Mary, and I will tell you this, neighbor.
Yes, sir.
If they don't win Manchester 3-1, at least 3-1, they won't be winning more than one seat in St. Mary.
How you make these connections, Casey? How you make these connections?
Because they are more likely to win 3 Manchester seats than beating Dr. Dunn or Bobby Montague.
Yes. Casey, I want you to break it down.
I know it's a different play. It's a different game being played in St. Mary from that of which is being played in Manchester. But they are more likely to take 3 in Manchester than to beat Dr. Dunn or Bobby Montague. And they say, a former PNP president said, anything come out of your mouth, it can't come back.
Yes. But Casey, Central Manchester, you said, is central to the PNP avoiding a massive defeat.
Yes.
Why?
Because,
why, Casey?
Neighbor, the PNP is not the favorite party at the moment. The PNP is dependent on tradition and organization strength. And as far as the tradition is concerned, they have been winning Central Manchester for the past, I would say, they have lost Central Manchester since 1980 or before, until 2020. They haven't lost Central Manchester in over probably 40 years. It's not less than 40 years in a competitive election.
Yes, sir.
So as far as tradition is concerned, the Central Manchester would have been a PNP stronghold. As far as organization is concerned, Central Manchester has the PNP best and strongest ground organization than any other constituency across Jamaica. And how I come to that conclusion are the constituencies that may be floating around in your head, like Southwest St. Andrew, Southern St. Andrew, Eastern Westmoreland, not Eastern Westmoreland, or the Western St. Andrew. Those are all PNP garrison that they didn't have to work hard or organize hard in order to win. Those are constituencies they didn't even have to campaign in. Manchester Central, despite the PNP having the numbers over the years, the JLP have had strong support, floating around 8, 9, 10,000, and still haven't been able to beat the PNP because of their organization and their winning mentality. So if the PNP is to recover from 2020, if they have recovered from 2020, that seat in Central, they will have to take to show that.
So when we are covering election, my throat is give me a problem. when we're watching the election on a night, if we see the PNP winning back Manchester case, then we know that the PNP is doing well across the island.
And that's another thing, neighbor. You cannot use Manchester to measure how well the PNP is doing against the JLP. As much as you can do it, use it to measure how well they're doing for themselves. Because the PNP recovering from 2020 don't mean that they are recovering strong enough to beat the JLP.
But why do you say that Manchester Central is central to the PNP avoiding a landslide?
Because if they don't retain Manchester Central, they are losing in the other constituencies that they are hoping to take back, in which they have less resources and not as good organization. Yes.
So you are saying that
they have less resources.
Of the seats, of all the seats in Manchester, you're saying that the PNP is best organized in Central.
Yes. And what I was actually saying, not just Manchester, of all the 15 seats that the PNP lost to the JLP last election, Central Manchester is where the PNP has the most resources and organization at the moment.
That's a live shot of the Prime Minister in Portmore. Of course, the Prime Minister is in the constituency of St. Catherine East Central. That's where Orlando Terrelong is the Member of Parliament. He's been challenged by Raymond Price from the People's National Party. The Prime Minister, there is Orlando Terrelong. Yes. The Blonde Tucker is our live reporter, and he is right up close to the Prime Minister. That's a closely watched seat also. Raymond Price is challenging the Member of Parliament, Orlando Terrelong. The Prime Minister has a large crowd, it seems, there over in Portmore. He's been touring with Mr. Terrelong all evening. And I think this is a culmination of that tour. 26 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're live in Portmore.
Neighbor,
yes?
You said that's a closely watched seat.
Yes.
It's marginal, but closely watched is another thing. That's no closer watch. That's no close. That I don't think that's really close.
Yes.
Orlando Terrelong is winning that seat.
There you go, listeners. The forecast that Orlando Terrelong is going to be winning the seat. He's not agreeing with me that it is going to be closely watched. That it is
that's no closer than a Rolex watch and a poor man's hands. Far from the truth.
Yeah, we're going to get back to you soon, Casey. We just want to stay with this for.
We are a national movement.
Okay, well, we're not getting the audio. Tucker? Well, Tucker? He's not hearing us at all. All right, listeners. So that's the Prime Minister in St. Catherine East Central with the Member of Parliament, Orlando Terrelong. I don't know if the Prime Minister will be saying anything much. We are here covering the closed seats, the seats that is
I want to thank you. It has been an honor.
Well, the elections are very much on. And we are here to cover it for you as much as we can. We have political forecasting with Casey. Our resident analyst is Scratchy. You know that he's very, very knowledgeable. And Kerry, I don't understand, Kerry. Kerry, why you not responding to my messages when I send them to you? Please, you have to respond. I sent you a message. Go ahead. Yes. All right. Let's see if we can get back to KFC. To KC. I almost said KFC. KFC is on my mind at this time of the night. Thank you for your gifts, guys. Thank you so much. Getting any audio? We're in Portmore, guys. So I don't know where in Portmore. Where in Portmore is this, Scratchy? Scratchy?
I'm not seeing, I don't know the exact location, but I would expect that the spot meeting will be anywhere in Newlands or one of those places. You know, some of the strong
Gregory Park.
Gregory Park.
Newlands, Southborough.
Newlands, man. Yeah, it's Newlands. Person in the chat saying it's Newlands, as I said. Some person saying it's Southborough. Some person saying it's Gregory Park.
It's East Central.
Definitely, that was sure about.
Yeah, Casey, keep us in Manchester until we get any better particulars out of East Central St. Catherine. Very, very interesting, Casey, as you place in the minds of the listeners. What are they for?
Powerlane, you are on the spot program. The contractor was here last week. So Powerlane, in less than 10 days time, the contractor will rev up the engine. He's going to rev up the engine and we're going to put on a brand new carpet inside Powerlane. Big up the Powerlane family. And I want my Southborough family to understand that the only member of parliament that has done any work of significance in Southborough is Orlando Terrelong. We fixed up the road inside Southborough, the same road that they mark up, because some people don't like to see peace, some people don't like to see productivity, some people are allergic to prosperity. That is why them guys...
All right, give the Prime Minister the mic, no.
Because I'm allergic to prosperity. All the way. 10 years of consistent representation.
I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that now, and go back to KC. We'll keep that up, and then we will okay. Yeah. Okay. So he has paused that. All right. So yeah, we thank him for taking us to Portmore live. We'll have more live feeds for you guys as soon as some of our other persons that we're contacting when they go at these meetings. We want them to feed us the feed so that we can share them with you. You know, one thing I don't like is when people come up in the chat to tell us who is live all about the place. Stop. Yeah. If people want to follow people live when they are live, let them go. Don't come up on this platform. Come tell us who is live where and who is live where. Keep that information to yourself. All right, Casey.
Yes.
Yes. Let's get back to Manchester. And you said, Casey, that central Manchester is central.
And I'm sure you support him.
All right. Let's close that microphone. We're gonna move on. Tucker, let's move on. Go ahead, Casey.
Yes, and a quick analysis of central Manchester.
Yes.
Data analysts will tell you that if the election is a 3% or a statistical dead heat, that the PNP is winning central Manchester, because the data analysts cannot use any other factor other than the data. No political realignment, no work that the government or the MP have done. Nothing like that the data analyst cannot take into consideration. What the data analysts do is put the numbers into the computer and comes out with the numbers. So if it's a statistical dead heat, or maybe either party has about a 3% lead, the data analyst will tell you that Rhoda Crawford is in trouble. But what the data analyst will not tell you is that Rhoda Crawford has worked harder than any MP Central Manchester have had. And nobody can deny that. What the data analysts will not tell you is that Donovan Mitchell, who is now the mayor, have been a councillor for the Royal Flat Division in over 20 years. And nobody really fancy him as being MP, not even those in the Royal vote in the Royal Flat Division, because he's running for MP.
Yes.
His support is flat in the Royal Flat Division. And with the Holness factor as Prime Minister, as this is a general election and not a local election, he is in trouble in the Royal Flat Division to come out with the better numbers than Rhoda Crawford in his own division. The data analysts will not tell you that the Napatrix division will bring out a far bigger number in the general election than it brought out in the local government election. The data analysts will not tell you that unless the PNP is winning central Manchester by maybe 10 percentage points or 7 percentage points, 7 percentage points or more, they are not winning Mandeville division. The data analyst will not tell you that in the event of a statistical dead heat or a 3 points lead for either party, only the Belfield division PNP can win in a general election in that constituency. So they are depending heavily on the Belfield division. And you know what? The PNP leaders in central Manchester, the Mitchells, Mario Mitchell and Donovan Mitchell, they don't have it in them to inspire, to get people who are not comrades to come out and cast a vote for them. Brother Mike Crawford is getting the sympathy vote because everybody who don't know about the politics and the governance is hearing people talking that at least she work.
Hold on there, Casey. Let me see. This gentleman has been asking to come up for a little bit. Let me hear what he has. Good night, sir. Hold on, Casey. Good night, sir. Hello? Hello, sir? Okay. All right. All right. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Casey.
Yes.
All right. So I think we got you, Casey. So what you are saying then is that for the PNP, Manchester is very, very important for them. And on election night, you would be expecting the PNP to be winning at least 3 of the Manchester seats. Now, the question to you now is, based on what you have researched, do you see them winning 3 seats in Manchester?
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough. The fact that I cannot call 3 safe seats in Manchester for the JLP tells you that seats can flip. But honestly, because I'm not here as a JLP forecaster. Yeah, that's why I get so much hate from the JLP supporters, because they expect me to be a JLP forecaster. I'm a forecaster of the facts. Maybe not the facts, but as far as I understand and as far as what my work picks up. That's what I give to you. So I don't see 3 safe seats in Manchester for the JLP. But
you don't see the Labour Party with 3 safe seats in Manchester.
In Manchester. And on the flip side, I don't see the PNP having a safe seat in Manchester.
Hold on. You don't see 3 safe seats in Manchester for the Jamaica Labour Party, but you don't see 1 safe seat there for the PNP?
No. The PNP's strongest seat in Manchester traditionally would have been Northwest Manchester. That's under siege. Damian Young is having the beating of Michael Phillips at the moment.
This is interesting and absolutely amazing.
A seat that was as strong as Northwest Manchester.
But you have said, Casey, that the PNP needs to win 3 seats in Manchester.
Yes, and it's an uphill task.
But you don't see 1 safe one for them?
No.
But I suspect that they could flip. Can the PNP win 3 seats in Manchester? This is what I'm asking. Can they?
Can they? Well, as long as I don't see a seat as a safe seat, anybody can win it. Are there 3 seats leaning PNP in Manchester? No.
There are not 3 seats in Manchester leaning PNP, sir?
No. There's 1 seat in Manchester leaning PNP at the moment.
And are there 3 seats leaning JLP in Manchester?
I would say there's 2 and 1 is a toss-up at the moment.
So the best result for the PNP coming out of Manchester would be 2-2.
Best result for the PNP in Manchester? Yeah, I would think 2-2. 2-2 would be the most likely result.
That will be south and northwest.
That's if they manage to stave off the challenge of Damian Young. Because from where I'm sitting, they aren't beating the ladies.
They're not beating Marks and Crawford.
No.
How sure are you that Crawford, Rhoda Moy Crawford, is strong enough to stave off Donovan Mitchell case? You said they're not beating the leagues. I hear you when it comes on to northeastern Manchester. I think Audrey Marks is likely to win that comfortably. But Central Manchester, Casey, you say to me the PNP is best organized there of all the constituencies across the island, and you're telling me that Rhoda is going to beat that organization of the PNP and win that seat, Casey? Telling me that?
Yes, there is nothing, the beauty about it. Rhoda Moy Crawford is not just a lucky girl who became MP, Member of Parliament. There's nothing I know about Central Manchester and the PNP organization that Rhoda Moy Crawford don't know. And I can go further and tell you there's nothing we know about Central Manchester and the PNP organization that Dr. Herstrang don't know. And I can tell you that Dr. St. Arbin Bartlett was there in 2016 before Rhoda Moy Crawford. He ran before Rhoda Moy Crawford, and he is still a member of the JLP. I can tell you that Danville Walker was there in 2011, and he pulled out over 10,000 votes for the JLP. And Danville Walker is running proceedings, is managing the campaign for Audrey Marks, and seems to be running proceedings in Manchester. Oh. And there's nothing they don't know, and by extension, the JLP, there's nothing we know that they don't know. And I've been trying to tell you that why I mentioned the PNP organization over the years is not like the JLP don't have similar support as the PNP have in Manchester Central. But the PNP support is always permanent, and they always have the psychological edge of being in your face in Central Manchester. That people who
I'm gonna move on, Casey, but I'm learning here, even as I put these questions to you. I'm backing up. You say to me that Central Manchester is central to the PNP escaping a political backsliding on election night, correct?
Yes, because if the PNP loses 3 Manchester seats, if the PNP loses 2 Manchester seats, as a matter of fact, they are losing 2/3 of the constituencies across the island with ease.
Yes, but how do you make these connections?
Neighbor.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that, with the exception of 2020, since the 1980 election, we don't count 1983 because it was not contested. The PNP, whenever the PNP haven't won 3 seats in Manchester, they have swept Manchester. Even when they lose the elections.
They still win 3 seats.
Yes.
Oh. Wow. So then, when we
let me ask some simple question to you. you may not be the forecaster, but how many parishes across Jamaica you think the PNP is stronger in than they are in Manchester? Do you think they are stronger in St. Elizabeth?
No, sir.
Do you think they are stronger in St. Anne? Do you think they are stronger in St. James or Trelawney?
Not in St. James, not in Trelawney, no.
Do you think they're stronger in St. Thomas or Portland?
Not Portland, not St. Thomas.
Do you think they're stronger in St. Catherine?
Not St. Catherine, no.
Westmoreland.
Not Clarendon. Maybe in Hanover.
Maybe Westmoreland.
Maybe in Hanover. Hanover have only 2 seats.
I see where you are.
They're traditionally stronger in Westmoreland. And what I can tell you, Scratchy, only in percentage, because over those years since the 1980 election, the PNP have never won more seats in Westmoreland than they have won in Manchester, if you follow the numbers. Because even though they won 100% of the seats in Westmoreland, there are only 3 seats in Westmoreland. And they've been winning at least 3 in Manchester.
Boy, we're spending half hour in Manchester. This is fascinating stuff on Politics Plus at 11 minutes to 10 o'clock. It's so late in the night.
If they slip up in Manchester.
But Casey, what you are
sliding.
saying, but you said this.
Another thing, before you move on, you and Scratchy, you mentioned Westmoreland. From a PNP's point of view, we all have been talking to PNP supporters, and you listen what they say. Do you think they are more optimistic in Westmoreland now than they are in Manchester?
Scratchy?
I mean, no, I think they're more optimistic in Manchester.
Okay. So there you go. There goes the answer to your question. Why I think they're losing in a landslide if they don't carry at least 3 seats in Manchester. And I make this point at the beginning to tell the listeners that the PNP cannot win the election in Manchester, but they can lose it in Manchester.
They can't win it in Manchester.
No.
But they can lose it in Manchester.
If they win Manchester 3-1, it's a kind of realigning.
Oh.
Because that's the original political dynamics. That's what the landscape is accustomed to.
Uh-huh. I see.
Still, it's all to play for. Winning 3 in Manchester, beating Delroy slowly, beating Tova Hamilton is like putting back things in place. It's like realigning. And you're still at a disadvantage because you can't unseat Anne-Marie Vaz to take back East Portland. If you're going to sweep Westmoreland again and rejoice, that's not going to help you to win the election.
Well, then, let's jump over to Westmoreland. We don't have a lot of time left.
Yes.
Based on what you have given me tonight, the PNP will need to win St. Thomas Eastern. You said it's a toss-up. The PNP will need to sweep St. Mary. You are saying to me, you can't see that happening. It's 2-1 in favor of the Labour Party.
At the moment.
At the moment. You said that they need 3-1 in Manchester. The best you see them come out of Manchester with is 2-2. at the moment. Let's go over to Westmoreland, Casey. The PNP needs all 3 seats there.
Yes, definitely.
So then they don't only need to take Manchester. They need to sweep Westmoreland 3-0.
Yes.
Now, do you see the PNP winning all 3 seats in Westmoreland? Isn't that a must for the PNP at least?
What I must tell you in Westmoreland is the ground is fertile for both political parties.
So the possibility exists that the PNP could take the Westmoreland seats?
Yes. As much as it exists that they could lose the West.
Let's deal with the positive probability. They could win all 3.
Okay, they could win all 3.
Ah.
That will take some work, but they could win all 3. I know
it is not
supporters
outside
in the chat will tell me who can't win and who can't win. We're just exploring the possibilities, and they could win all 3 because there's no safe seat in Westmoreland for anybody.
And
we know who the candidates are. You don't have to tell us.
Yes, and so as we explore probabilities, possibilities tonight, you are saying to us and to the listeners that either party really could take all three seats in Westmoreland, as well as it could go 2-1, 3-0, 1-2, like that. But
exactly. And in this case now, what we're faced with is which party will be stronger in the general election? Which party is really winning the West? Which party is stronger and better organized? Which party will has the resources in the West? Which party have shown work in the West? Or have the people in the West been neglected? Can the PNP find neglect and act on that and use that to campaign? Can the PNP offer them something that they haven't, that the JLP haven't given to them? Will the people trust the PNP because they were there ruling the West all these years they were in power? It's a lot at play. It's a lot at play here. How much do they trust Danny Lawrence? How have he done? I need to get do some more work on Danny Lawrence.
Because send cases down to Westmoreland.
Yes, I've been hearing things about Danny Lawrence, and a lot of people don't seem to have him to give him any chance. And based on what I've been hearing, he could spring a surprise. We have the other 2 JLP candidates as the threat. Everybody have George Wright and Mr. James as the threat down there. But people seem to love Danny Lawrence. But I will see. I expect Dr. Dayton Campbell to be strong. I know JLP supporters on the chat don't like Dayton Campbell and don't think he's a good candidate, but that's Eastern Westmoreland and he's the General Secretary. That must stand for something. That must stand for something. So, Excel says she knows Danny Lawrence.
That
to give me some info because I don't know if I'm going to get to Westmoreland in time.
Well, listeners, you hear that? Either party could sweep Westmoreland.
Either party could sweep Westmoreland.
Realm of possibility that the PNP
is the West voting as a parish, or are the constituencies showing different tendency?
Yes.
We will have more on that on Thursday, though.
We will have more on that on Thursday.
Dissect them on Thursday.
Well, there
Hanover is close. I know Hanover is close. And I can also tell you, the PNP seem to be leading in the parish of Hanover. But
PNP is ahead in Hanover.
Yes. Even though the JLP
Both-
have recovered from where they were months ago.
Hold on there.
The
Hold on
JLP
there. Hold on, Casey. Boy, I tell you. Rick Trigger? How you do? How you doing, sir? I haven't heard from you for a while, man. Where have you been? Mr. Trigger? Hmm? How you doing? How you doing? This is breaking news. Action Jackson, where you are? Action Jackson? PNP leading in Hanover? Could sweep
Yes,
the West? Wow. Not doing badly at all, comrades. We're giving it to you. We're not biased. We're telling you the facts. So Casey, the PNP has recovered in Hanover and are likely to win at least one of the seats over there. Eh?
Yes. I still think it will be difficult for them to unseat Dave Brown. But they are enjoying a lead in Western Hanover. Based on my information, they're enjoying a lead in one of the more marginal division, a strong lead in Western Hanover, and that speaks for the whole constituency.
All right. Is there any way that we could see a sweep in the West for the PNP? Could the PNP retain?
Well, but with where the general election is going, I don't see, from where I'm sitting now, I don't see them sweeping the West, because they will need the national swing to do that. Because what they have done, they have given up their advantage they had in the West over the years. And now the West depends on the swing. And that's testament to the strength of the JLP and the Prime Minister Andrew Holness at the moment. Because for me to be here forecasting that the West is depending on the national swing, that's something we normally said about St. Elizabeth Southwest.
But in reality, Casey, there is no national swing. Is there a swing to the PNP?
There's always a swing, neighbor. There's always a swing, and it's not the swing that you pick up or I pick up. It's when we count where we see the swing goes. And that number is what's going to take the West.
All right, let me put it to you, Casey.
Yes.
What I hear you say is that the People's National Party will do better in this election than they did in 2020. Are you not saying that?
Yes. Yes, they will do better.
Do better. If they do not win
yes,
more seats,